Yo, right here in the small box. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So DJ Akademiks ranks the top 10 most powerful figures in hip-hop media right now. Re-rank. Of course, conversational purposes. What they're doing is just driving traffic to their platform to create engagement, so that is potential revenue in their pocket as well as subscribers for their channel. So it's all a strategy at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and get started with this one.
Part of me. I don't like that shirt. I don't like nothing about it. Are y'all rage baiting me or no? I feel like now I'm gonna have some problems. Yo, can I get some more to drink?
Are they giving him something to drink, by the way?
Complex lists. You love them, you hate them, but one thing is for sure, you're still talking about them. This is a show where we're gonna talk about it too. Welcome to Re-Rank.
I'm your host,
Jordan Rose.
Hey, shout out to Jordan Rose. I'll never forget the moment I met you at Complex Con. That was definitely major. If I come again this year, I definitely want to bump into you. Hopefully you're not working. Definitely want to have a conversation with you and just catch a vibe, bro. You know what I'm saying? So W Jordan.
Today, I am joined with one of the most outspoken and polarizing figures in hip-hop media, DJ Akademiks.
That better not be no Hennessy.
My brother, how you feeling?
Listen, am I polarized? I don't think I'm polarized.
I think you're polarized.
I be telling the truth, man.
What's
truth
good?
hurts.
We got Quickie in the
So
chat.
boom, the Complex staff put together
Just can't
our
listen to this
hip-hop
fool.
media
Coco, I
power
get it.
rankings list.
I understand.
We're going to start at the top, one entry at a time, and re-rank them 1 through 5. Once we get to that 5th spot, we're going to go to number 10, and then we're going to re-rank it up 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, until we now have a fully re-ranked list, unless the good brother Ak agrees with us and doesn't have any alterations he's going to make. Criteria is basically who right now controls news cycles, who has the most power in our space in those regards.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Let's get into it. 1 and 2, drum roll.
See, it's a good concept. Like, the one thing I have to, like, give Complex is that they know how to set up engagement. All right? They set you up with the list. We already know lists today are only there to create conversation. That's it. That's all they're there for, because it's not the real list. A real definitive list does not drive conversation. It doesn't drive engagement, because people are just going to agree with it. If you mix it up to make people disagree with it, that's when the conversation starts to get juicy. And that's what they're aiming for. But now that they're capitalizing on the list to create moments like this, I gotta respect it, but you're doing it with the wrong person, if I'm going to be honest. Akademiks is not the right individual to have on your platform. I understand everybody runs to him for hip-hop info. Everybody and their moms. All right? That's cool. But we cannot forget the allegations that make academics, and that's dangerous. Now, Complex can easily look past that, because regardless, and I said this before, the first time I said it was on HHSB Crew's live stream. All motion through Complex's eyes is good motion, regardless if it's good or bad, right? You're just doing it with the wrong person. I honestly would prefer to see Joe Budden on there again than to see Akademiks on there again. Honestly, maybe Joe and Jada, Drink Champs. Just any other platform. There's numerous hip-hop platforms that's been popping in 2015. You should have choose better. My opinion, of course. But, you know, it is what it is. Probably because he's number one. The thing with Akademiks is because he's providing news on all platforms. That's the issue. To dominate that, to beat that, you need somebody that does that while at the same time create engaging moments on social media that's driving utmost traffic. And that's hard to do when you sit there and think about it. That's the only way to beat Akademiks, but nobody's coming to do that. That's the problem. So that's why Akademiks is there.
Reveal it yourself and your good brother, Joe Budden. So first, before we even get into it, do you think you are the most powerful person in hip-hop media right now?
Yeah. I'm rocking with this list for this year, yeah. This is, I told people, I feel like this is my journey year, so I think that's accurate. You know, I've always said that me and Joe, we have this joke. when we talk to each other personally, we're like, or privately, I say, I feel like we're still doing everyday struggle, just on different platforms. He's one of the only people I check for consistently to see how did he look at a situation, because very rarely does that affect how I look at stuff. Yeah, Joe, I got you this year, man. I got you this
So
year.
you agree? You think that you're better than Joe?
All right, so don't let me kick my man back in.
I'm just asking because that's what you're saying.
Joe, listen, there's a lot of ways to look at this.
There's only one way.
Okay.
You're above him.
No.
Do you agree with
But
that?
here's the thing. So I'm looking at this in voice. I think Joe has an amazing platform.
You get into semantics, my nigga. What are we talking about? Yo.
No.
Wait,
Ain't no semantics.
wait.
Joe can't fuck with me. That's my nigga.
Okay.
He can't fuck with me. What I'm saying is that I fuck with his podcast. It's a lot of voices on there. When I'm on stream, it's me versus a million. And that's just what it is. Not only the people watching, the people who's gonna be tweeting about it. Listen, half the time I'm off that hand
He also wants
Joe's
to
my
free
man.
Dirk. We all know Akademiks is a damn fool, right? But you also got to remember, when it comes to audience, with the grown folk, a lot of us were not pulling up. But you got to remember, Akademiks' key audience, his key demographic is the younger generation. And those kids will pull up in droves to either watch him, pull up to his content, to engage with the content. And that's what's making him popping right now. It's the younger generation. He's really tapping in with the younger generation. Remember, when I was live in Complex Con day one and I saw Akademiks, let's not forget that. I saw Akademiks, and yeah, I'm taller than him. When I saw Akademiks, he was surrounded by kids. Let's not forget that. Akademiks was surrounded by kids in Complex Con when we were there. When I went to Las Vegas for that. Let's not forget that ever. All right? So now you understand why Akademiks is there. It's not the older generation. It's the younger generation. The percentage between younger and older generation is like night and day damn near. But that's his demographic, so that's why he's up there, you know.
But I think, I think 1 and 2, I rock with that.
So
Hey, Alex, absolutely. That was absolutely disgusting. It makes him weird for sure, but it's what it is.
we're locked in. Let's move on to the next 2 spots on our list. Our 3rd spot this year, DJ Vlad, who has moved
That's
up.
incorrect.
He was number 6 last year. He is now in the top 3. I'm sure he's going to be happy about that. What do you think?
Not even Jordan likes that.
You think that we got this right here?
I could tell where this is going.
Okay.
No, Joe's absolutely number 2.
Okay.
With all due respect to Vlad, is like, I think Vlad's been developing a voice. His interviews are amazing. His question asking is amazing. I think he does some of the best interviews that, like, over time, it really bodes well, because we're gonna see like questions that we really cared about that are timeless. However, if we're talking about just hip hop personality, you can't compare Joe Budden and DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad, of course,
DJ
Big
Vlad
Dog's
should not be in the
godfather,
top 10. I'm sorry.
Independent media, but Joe is a different league. That's why I gotta have Joe over Vlad.
Okay. So our top 3 is locked. Ak was saying he was going to shit on this list before we started.
Nah, I thought y'all were gonna have some crazy people on
Looks
there, but
like we got it right so
I
far.
wasn't gonna shit on the top 5. Like, I was gonna see who y'all gonna have in the rest of this junk.
All right, so now at number 4, Jadakiss and Fat Joe. New entries to the list. Last year they were 15. I think that was when their podcast had just started. And now they're in the top 5. What do you think of that?
That stays the same. So I still think
Let people
Vlad
say
stays
his
3. Jada and Fat Joe, I like their program. I like their.
I would happily. And we got you. Okay. See, this is where Complex. Y'all, this is where you guys are losing brain cells. This is where you guys are losing the plot. Because this is a hip hop media platform. Hip hop media platforms list. Why is DJ Vlad, someone I've never seen DJ, above Joe and Jada, which are actual hip hop artists? How is Joe and Jada not above DJ Vlad? In what world does that make sense? Joe and Jada have been on a consistent run, phenomenal guest stars. They've had some content that went viral. But then you have DJ Vlad that don't even show his face. unless he's getting interviewed himself. I don't like his interview style. It's weird. If I'm going to be honest, I don't want to sit there and look at just one person in some interrogation room. Y'all made an interrogation room look poppin'. How? These dudes are getting interrogated. And then come to find out, oh, they're getting arrested and charged. I wonder how that came about. This man set up an interrogation room to look like a podcast, and he's been making money off that. Make that make sense. I don't rock with DJ Vlad whatsoever. He should not be in the top 10 at all. You don't spend shit.
Podcast. Here's the thing with having a list of media personalities. While they could be an enjoyable podcast, I look at the effect.
They won't
I
acknowledge
like their
Justin
broadcast,
Hunt.
but I like it for Fat Joe's story. You know, that's it. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised at 4. I even hate on him. I'm just surprised they're even 4. But Vlad's definitely stays at 3.
Joe and Jada, you're surprised at 4, so maybe they move up or down depending on this next. We're about to reach the middle of our list. Jadakiss Fat Joe over Charlemagne the God.
Stop bugging, man. Yo.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Stop bugging,
Why do you think Charlemagne is above Jada and Fat Joe?
Yo, this idea of like the Charlemagne disrespect comes from Charlemagne kind of maturing a little bit. Like Charlemagne used to be like,
Bro, Charlemagne should be number 3. Joe and Jada should be number 4. DJ Vlad should be like number 17. The one thing with Charlemagne the God I gotta give him is that he's consistent. Where he's at wow, words are hard. Where he's at with iHeartRadio, he's been consistent for over a decade. The only reason why he's not up there like that is because of the social media aspect. And I'm going to talk about Justin Hunt in a second too. Because does he deserve to be on there? Absolutely. But he needs to put in more work is the problem, right? So watch this now. With Charlemagne, what they do, because you also got to understand with hip-hop media platforms, you need to consider the full package when it comes to social media, not just YouTube. You must have YouTube under your belt. It's mandatory for a hip-hop media platform. You also need to be on as many social media platforms as you can be on. You don't need to be on Threads. Threads is new, but Threads is kind of useless. You got to be on Instagram. You got to be on Twitter. You got to be on Facebook. Or you should let somebody run Facebook. You got to be on, you got to have a Patreon. What other platform out there? You don't really need a Twitch or a Kick streaming service, but like, it does help. But you need to be on social media. It's absolutely mandatory. Now with Justin Hunt now, the company man, he's dominating YouTube. We can all admit that. We can all agree to that. And then now that he started the Third Verse podcast, now he's like really trying to establish himself on YouTube for sure. Cool. You also need to dominate social media. You know, what I feel like is that you should either hire people that's going to help you with your social media presence, because that will help you skyrocket, especially with the realness that he speaks. Absolutely, he should be in the conversation with a lot of these dudes, but you got to be able to work on all platforms, work for all platforms. It's difficult. It's a lot of work. That's when you start hiring team members, right? Me personally, what I think Justin Hunt should do, you have BK and you have L. You should get them to work on the social media aspect for your brand. Maybe not let them focus too much on their own YouTube channels, but have them work on your social media for you. That's going to help you put yourself into position to be on a list like this. Let's keep going. You don't need to be on Twitter. In fact, most of the people that are on Twitter aren't even on Twitter. They just set up accounts. They don't engage because it's crazy. Justin and Rob were writers, interviewers for Real News. Here's the thing, though, because a lot of news, you also got to consider this, though. When it comes to Twitter, yeah, you don't really need to be on Twitter, but a lot of news first comes through Twitter, because Twitter is like the fastest platform to post on. Facebook is a dead platform. People are only there for reels. So when you post on Facebook, it's not going anywhere. When you're on Instagram, you need like a picture to post with. So now you got to find something or get a blank screen or make a story post, and cool. With Twitter, that's the number one, instant. You type out something, you be on BS, you be hating, boom. Post. It's easy on Twitter. So you don't necessarily need to be active on Twitter, but you need to be there to catch everything that's going viral on Twitter. Because it comes from Twitter first, then it cycles through other social media platforms. That's how it works. Right? When I'm on Twitter, or when I see Big Zo on Twitter, when I see Quality on Twitter, when I see HHSB Crew on Twitter, when I see Rob Markman on Twitter, it's all coming from Twitter first. When we're looking at some of their reactions or some of the videos that they're posting, it's coming from Twitter first. So it's not necessarily about like, oh, I should be posting the most relatable or illest shit on Twitter. No. You got to be there to catch the news. That's the trick. Yeah, Koala. I've seen Koala react to a couple videos off of Twitter or off of like little article websites or whatever. But yeah, no, you gotta be on Twitter to catch the news.
Like this kind of rugged, like media person, which I've even attributed a lot of my influence to, like him, Star.
Koala don't have Twitter? I swear he did. Or I swear I've seen him react to some things off of Twitter. Like you don't necessarily need to have a Twitter account to check out the news on Twitter. Let's not forget that. But I'm pretty sure I've seen some. For sure. I know for all the other reactors, absolutely. Including the company man too. So
even Wendy Williams to a certain extent, where, you know, they were the people's people.
For a while, yeah.
Right? They talked like they weren't famous. They talked like they didn't know these people or care to know these people. And obviously Charlamagne has gotten a lot, you know, bigger paws, like in a sense of he's now this huge, like, corporate media guy who's even entering into politics. But, man, his voice still moves stuff, whether it's with artists, whether it's with culture. And
Koala,
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, he's clearly number 4. I'm gonna be honest with you, he's a little bit. It's still 1, 2, and 3. I still think he should be 3.
Firstly, remember, this is a snapshot of the right now since we put out our last list. So obviously, all time, Charlamagne has a legacied career. Mm-hmm. However, looking at that window of time, I mean, Fat Joe and Jada had, you know, they basically revealed Cole's Birthday Blizzard mixtape where he was sampling all of their tracks before it came out. That was a moment that everybody reported on of like news. I think that Charlamagne, you know, $200 million deal, historic, but like newsworthy moments, he had fewer at the same clip as Joe and Jada. That's why we have them above him.
So let me give you another reason why he's up there. So when it comes to Charlamagne, I think even with me, Joe, and the majority of even, you know, people you might even have on the list, they have lesser interviews than Charlamagne. Charlamagne's at the Breakfast Club. He has a lot of interviews that we all use for contextual clips that we get our own opinions for, or we might have opinions on. Some of those things might not be jumping off the page, but it still happens, right? Like it could be a rapper who's well, I can't remember the last one. Maybe I'm tripping.
You feel what I'm saying?
Hold on now.
Could you remember the last rapper that was on the Breakfast Club that generated a moment?
I feel like they still do though a little bit.
They have. Okay, look.
It's like, here's the problem. Charlamagne's LeBron. It's like LeBron's still averaging 25, but we look at him like, bro, you used to be jumping from the free throw line averaging 40. And because of that, we're kind of looking at him in a very different way. But like a lot of how I do content, I got to stream for 6 hours. I'm streaming for 6 hours today. Some of what I might have to react to or consider or like whatever, like that's just how the news cycle works in terms of like, you know, you want to be a guy who's current, is kind of analyzing what everybody's doing. The Breakfast Club is still in the mix. Yes, they're not the Breakfast Club back in the Ray J days, the Birdman days. He's not the abrasive host that's sniffing seats, but he's still franchise player. You get what I'm saying? And that alone mixed with the business moves, and I know maybe like this is not a Forbes list, I get it, but mixed with both of those, yeah, he's probably not number one, but I can't put Joe and Jada, Fat Joe and Jada above Charlamagne. I can't.
Okay. Look, this is your list, so I respect it. We will put Charlamagne over Joe and Jada, so he moves up a spot. So this is your current top 5, but now we're gonna start at number 10.
No, Jordan, slow down a second. Charlamagne should move up one more to number 3 because DJ Vlad doesn't deserve to be up there. I don't care what none of y'all say. I don't care what kind of interviews he be having. He don't deserve to be up there. Like, within hip-hop, this dude is like an incel. It's like you're going against the grain. You're going against what is culture. Because you don't even understand this ish, bruh. That's why I don't like dude. I don't like him at all. I don't like his content. I don't like him. I don't like what he represent. I don't like nothing about him. He's a weirdo to me. Just like act, but like, what can you do, man? Shit, like, it's weird.
And make our way up to the middle, and then we'll have a full re-ranked list of yours.
I feel like now I'm gonna have some problems.
Maybe. So number 10, our Jersey brother, Plaque Boy Max.
Really?
Number 9, the good brother, Ebro. Now, Max was last year number 4.
Ebro should be number 6. Unless there's another voice out there, Ebro should be number 6.
So he slid a few spots. Ebro last year was number 12. So he jumped a few spots. Talk to me.
I go from top 5 to this. Okay.
Listen.
Let me figure this out. All right. I love what Max is doing. I think Max is he's a unicorn. He's a streamer that is hip-hop oriented. He's an artist. The idea of a media personality is a very interesting thing because you could be an artist, but as long as you provide a platform and you have a voice, you essentially are not only a media platform, but you're also a personality. I think he's done a lot to kind of keep hip-hop in a visible place, especially after coming out of a year where everyone's complaining that streamers are the new rappers. And he hasn't neglected music. If anything, he's brought him in. I'm going to put him above Ebro, but the reason why I got to put... I don't even know how you go in the top 10. This is
You're
crazy.
bugging, bro. And look, I love Max. You're bugging. Max is my brother. I love Max. You're bugging. My brother, what?
You got him sipping Hennessy. Of course he bugging.
It's ago, you were reacting to his show, his Apple Music show.
No. I want to let you cook first. That I could do my thing. You done?
No. So you were reacting to the Rap Life podcast just a few nights ago. Yes, Ebro lost his job on Hot 97. That did happen.
Ebro work here?
Ebro does not work here. Yeah, but people act like Ebro isn't currently the global head of hip hop and R&B at Apple Music.
That's his job. Hold on. That should disqualify. Okay, so put Carl Cherry on.
Let me finish. Does Carl Cherry have a show?
Yes, he does.
A show that airs regularly.
You can't use somebody's job as a hip-hop curator. When you mention this guy's job, where does he work? It's the opinion of Apple Music. Hold on.
You don't really think Ebro is reflecting the opinions of Apple Music. You don't believe that. You don't believe that.
So basically, we're giving him props because he got hired at a place that has all the power in the world.
No, I'm giving him props because you get content off of him.
No. Let's evaluate the content. Because again, if we're evaluating these guys' jobs, Charlamagne is like the big wig now over at iHeart and over at Netflix with what he got going on. But that's not what his list is based off, right? Okay. Joe Budden's independent. I'm independent. DJ Vlad's independent. So when we're talking about Ebro, and I'm not even here to kick his back in about him losing his job over at Hot 97. Those things don't matter. This list matters because your voice, whether it's being amplified by Complex, Hot 97, Spotify, wherever, it's going to bleed through to the people. Now, I actually said that this guy's a professional rage baiter because no one talks about him unless he's, number one, talking about Drake. Number two, saying the absolute ridiculous thing that makes us all have to almost seemingly dick ride Drake to reaffirm the obvious. But Drake has no classics. So every media personality has to come out and say, yes, he does.
No. Because now you're going against the grain of how their system is set up. You're making it a personal thing. You don't like Ebro, I get it, but you're making it personal. You're making it weird. Ebro deserves to be higher on that list. Ebro against Black Boy Max? Yeah, cool. Blackboy Max is a streamer, also a producer and artist. That's cool. And if I'm correct, he's either Grammy nominated or he actually got a Grammy. I'm pretty sure he's Grammy nominated, if I'm correct. I don't think he got a Grammy, but if he did, hey, bro, there's not a lot of streamers that get Grammys, but bro, Blackboy Max hasn't done enough based on this list. Based on the criteria of this list, Blackboy Max has not done enough. Point blank, period. That's just what it is. All right? Like,
but some could say the
absolutely
same
has
about
motion.
you. That's subjective. Some
Cap.
could say you rage bait.
Okay,
You say the
what's
most
good,
outlandish
Shanice? How you
things
feeling?
Hold on.
to generate conversation. Some could say that.
Here's my thing. If I was a one-trick pony, like I believe he is, right? It's very clear there's two things. The Uzi moment, he's still milking it today. I was still right. No, you're not right, brother. You're wrong. You're wrong. If anything, it told us why you shouldn't even be on the list. Hip-hop gatekeepers, which you said would happen, the exact opposite happened. You're trying to cope by saying, well, you know, he says he's a rock star. Come on. These days, hip-hop looks so much different than what this guy said. If anything, it just shows over time, this guy was an idiot.
Okay, but beyond that, to that same point, I think the anniversary of him saying that was like the 10-year anniversary was a few days ago. The fact that people even have that as a tent pole shows that they still care about what he has to say.
Brother, we're not trying to reminisce. Is this list about now or like 10 years ago?
I also would say that Max took a several-month break. He's now more focused on being an artist than he is about platforming artists, which I think is totally fair.
Let me ask you a question. All right, I'm glad. And by the way, my ranking won't change. I still got Max at 9. I don't even think Ebro should be in the top 10. I'm actually a little bit perturbed by that, but it's okay. I'll ask you this. If you're a record label right now, you have an artist. I don't care what type of artist it is. It could be someone's a trap rapper. It could be a gangster rapper. It could be an emo rapper. It could be some eclectic, you know, just new style type guy. If you had one place to send them to try to get some, you know, attention or conversation about their music, would you send them to Rap Life podcast or would you send them to Blackboy Max in the booth? Yeah, just answer that question and then let's move on. Just answer that question.
You got that one.
I think we should move on.
I wish he did more in the booths. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
As of right now, he just hasn't done enough. But I respect it. I still love my brother Max. Yes, Max will move above Ebro. Never.
You either glazing Ebro or you hating on Max.
Nah, never. Okay, so the next, right?
We should have pulled up 11 because I don't know.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's get into the next spot on our list. This is our 8th spot. Speaking of Twitter pages, this is the first year we've...
Nah, Blackboy Max is not above Kirko whatsoever. No way. Kirko is crazy.
Our 8th spot. Speaking of Twitter pages, this is the first year we've included accounts or not just singular people. What do you think, just off initial reaction of a Twitter account being in a top 10 hip hop media power ranking?
I'm cool with Twitter or some type of entity being on the list, not above Max. Kirko, I think they do a pretty good job. Always timely. They do tweet out many major moments when it comes to music.
Tell them, Noah.
You know, maybe an interview moment that maybe people miss. Maybe it's like upcoming music, whatever. Snippets, cool. Here's a problem, and this is where we have to start figuring out. Maybe we just need more lists, and I know I'm at the place where it's complex. Y'all got all the lists. You feel what I'm saying? Don't just lump everybody on the same list. Just make a new list, brother. Y'all can make the Twitter page list. That's the thing. If I don't believe there's a human or there is an opinion or there is a POV behind something, I don't know if it's a bot or I don't know if it's label completely financed. And I'm not saying that, you know.
Complex about to have a Twitter account list. Watch. Because, yo, I ain't going to lie. Akademiks is low-key right. With what Kirko does on Twitter is substantial. I can happily agree with that. I've never seen his face before a day in my life. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's real. That's valid. But in terms of Kirko against Blackboy Max right now, I'm still going with Kirko. I've seen way too much come from Kirko, and I haven't even heard anything from Blackboy Max in months.
Oh, maybe
What's
people
good,
aren't
J.
influenced,
Tom?
but
we got a scholar
you can't
in the
just give me
chat.
an entity and say, hey, you know, because at this
That's
point,
true, Alex.
why we don't
He
have
is
Fearbook and
accepting
Scuba
payola.
Ryan on here, and you know, shoot, I love our generation. What about Kids Takeover? Shoot, like there's a lot of entities that they do a really good job, and I've had this
His
conversation
Robin
with Adam 22. I always thought that you guys ranked him wrong. Maybe as a media personality, you could rank him because I always ranked him like 20 or like in the top 25. And
I
I
don't
said,
think he's on the list this year.
okay, even if he's not on the list, I don't believe you could have a platform, hip hop platform conversation, which I think that should be a list. On a hip hop platform conversation, Kirko's on it, 100%. If you told me top 10, of course.
Well, look, that's what platforms like On the Radar is also on.
Yeah, but Gabe P is like there's a face and at least there's a humanistic element to that I could be like.
I wanted to include Kirko as a media personality, which is why he's included with it. I think Akademiks is trying to make it a media personality list only, which is why he's trying to discredit Kirko. But everybody on here is a media personality except Kirko. Like Kirko's a platform on a website. It's an account. So,
like, okay, this is the soul of it, because again, we're getting into this time with AI. We don't know what's what. You had to see it. If you say you ain't see it, man, you lying now. All right, you ain't see the shit that happened last year when we were finding out that all them X accounts, them niggas is from Sri Lanka. Them niggas from Dubai.
Yes.
Yo, how am I get my hip hop opinion from like a nigga who's like, nigga in Mozambique? Like, yo, bro, how you gonna tell me what's popping in New York? So again, Kirko, I don't even know if they're based in the U.S. Again, if there was a face to it and that's their platform, right? Like, say cheese. Say cheese to me is valid because we know the POV where that's coming from. Sean Cotton, he's a
Right,
guy
Alex?
who's always been like
For
Louisiana,
real.
Texas,
God forbid.
that area. We get it. But when it comes to Kirko, like if I have to say that they're top 10, I'm even gonna lie to you. I know mad pages that's really more lit. Kirko's 30 times more lit than Ebro. Just remove mad other niggas, it's gonna be me. Matter of fact, put my nigga Grand Wizard on there. Me, Grand Wizard. Kirko.
what? Nah. Put my dude Grand Wizard. I dare Complex to put Grand Wizard on that list. That whole list needs to be burned down. Put Grand Wizard on that list. The whole list need to be burned down. After what we've learned about Grand Wizard, that racist, you want to put a racist on the list? I dare Complex to do that. Are you crazy?
Max and a bunch of other Twitter pages. 'Cause we don't have a list at that point. Or in Joe Buntu.
First, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can still report on hip hop news. Like Kirko.
But how could they be on a media personality list when what's the personality?
This one.
Alex, remember Grand Wizard was brought up in one of the lawsuits with Drake and Adinross for the whole gambling and stake situation. So just remember that part.
The reason we started to include
I got paid.
No.
Like
You can't talk about getting paid.
No, I'm always honest.
All right.
I'm always honest.
We didn't get paid, but
No, the record labels pay them to promote. Record labels pay me. They probably pay a Complex too. But
Whoa, wait. Run that back for me, brother.
this one, the reason we started to include
I got paid.
No. You can't talk about getting paid.
No, I'm always honest.
All right.
I'm always honest.
We didn't get paid, but
No, the record labels pay them to promote. Record labels pay me. They probably pay a Complex too. But what I'm saying is that this is what this list is to me.
Again? So we're just going to admit to the payola again? This is what I'm talking about with hip-hop media platforms. They're purchasable. That's why hip-hop is in the state it's in today, because it's purchasable hip-hop media platforms that's ruining the conversation with lies and deceitful bullshit. You just going to admit to it again? That's crazy.
hey,
I'm
so
always honest.
we didn't get paid, but
No, the record labels pay them to promote. Record labels pay me. They probably pay a Complex too. But what I'm saying is that this is what this list is to me, right?
There you
'Cause
go.
said at the beginning.
Alex, you right?
Oh, Joe said this.
So because there's no more record stores and nobody really watches TV. Record companies have to find a way to promote artists, and it used to be that way. It used to be that they would pay radio stations to play a song multiple times, so it's not really different with streaming. There's a certain level of acceptance. I can understand what was already set. The issue is that they're abusing that today to the point where it doesn't even look fair anymore. It's like everybody has, like, the only way for you to be a poppin' artist, you gotta get signed, you gotta play by the rules, you gotta put out the songs they want to hear, and then for some miraculous way, they're gonna pay for you, they're gonna put in money on you so that they can put you in position to be successful. In other words, pay to play. They turn hip hop into gaming. Pay to play is something that is considered that's like a term in gaming. Like, it's pay to win in a sense. You pay for this god tier or S tier weapon that can mow down anybody in a shootout, and you're gonna consistently win. Pay to play, pay to win. That's what hip hop's looking like today. Me no likey.
What I'm saying is that this is what this list is to me, right? Because you said at the beginning. Oh, Joe said this. Oh, me and my homies been talking a lot of time, but like, yeah, and they'd be like, yo, you heard what Joe said? And I'll debate it with them. Yo, you heard what Charlamagne said?
A term when you hire a prostitute is crazy. Alex, I agree with your point, especially the second part where it's like, but at the end of the day, the public will either like something or it won't, no matter how much you try to shove it down their throats. The game is rigged, and not just in music. You are absolutely correct. But Alex, you remember this guy right here?
I am done hiding my real opinion about Michael Jackson.
You remember this guy right here? Listen, let me tell you something. There's not one of him. There is many of him. How many likes did this post get? About 6,000 likes. If I'm correct, this post had about 240,000 views. This is crazy. That's why I listen to underground artists. Absolutely agree with you. He's not going to go viral for any of the right reasons. Exactly, but he's not going to go viral for any of the right reasons, but he's going viral. A lot of people would look at virality as fact. A lot of idiotic people would look at virality as fact. Let's make that clear, especially on social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter, right? The public does have common sense, but if you present enough lies in their face, eventually they're going to start to believe. And then when it comes down to mental conditioning, with consistently feeding people BS, then eventually they're going to come to like something that they probably shouldn't be liking. And we see that in music today, and of course in other areas outside of music and media. So half the time it's not even us. It's just like people. It's just impressionable minds. That's what it comes down to. It's crazy. Did you not realize who our president is? Yeah, no, you're right.
I'll debate it with them. Oh, you seen that Vlad interview? I'll debate it with them, right? Ebro, not so much. I'm not talking about that bump. But
Wow.
I've never been in a conversation be like, yo, Kirko said, and that's not a disrespect to them. They're a platform to me, not a media personality. Flip them.
So now Max is sliding up. You know, I love to see a jersey.
I hope they don't think I'm hating on him because me and him
No.
Hey, look, I'm not hating. It's just
The last beat on Kirkle that I'll say is that the reason why we had them in the top 10 is because oftentimes in streams with yours of others, you would have a Kirkle tweet that they're the news that they're spreading as
platform.
the fuel.
We used to go to MTV News for that. We used to go to MTV accounts. We used to go to Source. You know what I mean? But
hey, funny enough, Judy, I think that video is I got that video right here with thevill. Funny enough, DJ Who says hip hop sales miss Drake's output. So funny enough, I had it too. Like it's on the list. So I get what you're saying.
At these times, we're going to Kirk.
So there is a power in that. I understand you're getting caught up in the personality component of it, but I think a lot of what this list is about isn't necessarily just the color commentary, but just like, if they are reporting something, do we take it as fact? And Kirko is one of those platforms that we take as if they're tweeting it, we believe it. And there's a power in that. Anyway.
If I knew who they were, maybe I would be
fair.
If they tweet it, we believe it.
I know who Kirko is.
Facerville.
He's never going to reveal his face.
Well, I don't think it's a he. I think it's a company.
It is a he. I've met Kirko.
You've never met.
You've
met
met
Kirko.
You're a liar.
Kirko when
Show
they.
me Kirko.
I'm not going to show you Kirko for the sake
So
of
Kirko is a real person.
Yes.
His
he's a
name is
real
Kirk?
person. No, that's not his name. Anyway, this is your list. So this isn't mine. This is yours. Our number 7 spot. Your good brothers.
Oh shit.
Shout out to Rory and Mo, man.
Man, throw this list away, bro.
Bugging. So let me give the case.
Are y'all serious?
Before your bias comes in, let me.
Yo, Kirko, my bad. You could go. You can move up. Yo, what?
Take your sip before your bias steps in. Let me explain why they're at number 7.
I know that's alcohol. That's his favorite drink, Hennessy.
Now, last year, Rory and Maul were at number 9, so they moved up a few spots, mainly because, similar to yourself, Maul has been looked at as a legitimate source for Drake news because he is also close with Drake. So in this extended...
Get rid of this guy. Alex, you got a point. I don't see why people listen to Ak. Okay, J-Tom, here's the biggest issue with Akademiks. Everybody and their mama want him out of here. But the biggest problem with Akademiks, and it's honestly his superpower, Akademiks devotes his time to posting anything and everything about what's going on in today's alleged hip-hop. Everybody's getting the news from Akademiks. Everybody's getting the information from Akademiks. When you go on Instagram and you go under any of Akademiks' pages, it's nothing but news, viral moments, and just information that's being shared. And then what happens is that other pages, and honestly, a lot of laziness from other accounts is the reason why Akademiks is the number 1, unfortunately. Because with delivering news on all platforms, a lot of people are not doing it at the level Akademiks is doing. And that's the dark reality when it comes to him, which is why he hasn't gone anywhere yet. Think about all the things that's happened in the past, including the allegations. On paper, he should be out of here, but he's still here. He's capping half the time. We know. Judy, we know, because he's getting paid. We know. Like, it's unfortunate. Don't talk about Marlon for the act. That's hilarious. Every single thing that he predicts is wrong. Not everything. And at the same time, you got to remember these kids, bro. These kids are really tapping in with Akademiks' platforms. It's tapping in with Akademiks' social media accounts. A lot of these kids don't know shit about what's going on out there. But they like the fact that Akademiks has all the news in rap. That's what they like. The only thing that's above Akademiks is TMZ. That's it. Let's keep it tall. Like, that's the only thing above Akademiks is TMZ. There needs to be another page that will devote their time to just nothing but hip hop, nothing but rap, and all the news that's going on in rap. If there's another person that's putting in work at the level Akademiks is doing it at, you can get Akademiks out of here for sure. Absolutely. That's right. Kids. I know, J-Tom. I know. He's definitely touching them kids. Jesus Christ. What's good, Shadow? Holy. I just can't get past this guy's hair. Which one? Jordan or Ak? Because all Ak has is just braids. That's all Akademiks has. He just have braids. Jordan is the representative of Complex. When you think Complex, Jordan's face comes up. So, yeah, this is what it is at that point. Let me put my phone to charge. Jordan, yeah, Jordan was speedy. Or no, yeah, Jordan was speedy. Because at the same time how we have Jordan now, once upon a time it was Speedy. And Speedy used to be that guy. Like it was like the thing about Speedy is that he had a voice. Jordan, I feel like he's following the rubric. I feel like that's what's going on with Jordan. Jordan really doesn't have a voice too much. I feel like he's just following what's given to him. He's just following the rubric, he's following the lesson plan, and he's just going with what's on paper. That's what I think Jordan is. Jordan has no edges is crazy. Let me just play this video, bro.
Period of time we've been waiting for this album. He says something.
Are y'all rage baiting me or no?
This is real. This is real. And could you, like, bias aside, beat that ass? When Mo says something, it's reported as if it's fact, or as at least it's reported on. Is that not true?
Yo, can I get some more to drink? Like, real talk. Like, I ain't gonna lie. These niggas is wild enough.
We'll take it beat by beat. But first,
just put some.
So look, let's take this one beat at a time. All right. Like I said, when Maul says something about Drake, it creates a news cycle. Yes or no? Let's just start there. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. That in and of itself is power. Yes or no?
Yeah.
More power, I would say, than the people who are below them.
No.
Kirko doesn't create news based on new information. That's
not true.
No one below them have generated the same frequency of news, even before Cole dropped. Maul said that someone big is going to drop within the next week or two. And literally, I made a video about it.
Broken clock theory.
Explain.
Let me just explain where I think y'all niggas is bugging the fuck out. So, who was number one last year? Was Big Ak?
No, it was Kai.
Was Kai? What the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah.
What was it the year before?
Yeah, I think year before was you.
Exactly. Okay. That's my point. When I got awarded number one spot based on everything I was doing, we're coming off of the Drake.
See, Alex, I love that you said that. You got to remember what I said earlier. All motion through Complex's eyes is good motion, regardless if it's good or bad. Another way to say it is that all motion is good motion, regardless if they're telling the truth or lying. What Complex sees is engagement. That's what they're looking at. That's what these lists are based off of. When it comes to Complex, the one thing I always keep in mind is that they're always looking at the engagement. They're looking at the numbers. All right? Now, you got to keep in mind, if you have the numbers, but the numbers are based off of a lie, that doesn't matter to Complex because they're still looking at the numbers at the end of the day. You would have 1 million people look at your posts, 1 million people engage with your posts, but you be telling a bold-faced lie. So Complex is like, he got 1 million people look at his posts. The way Complex sees it, I believe they're looking at how they can control engagement or how they control traffic, in a sense. And that's the flaw with Complex right now.
And Kendrick beef that everybody in the world cared about is the biggest beef ever. And based on how I was interjected into the situation and whatever, my proximity to whatever, or me getting mentioned on these records or me getting sampled, fine. That, to me, was a very worthy
like the New York
acknowledgement of everyone in the culture. It's been 2 fucking years now, okay? You're telling me that because this motherfucker still talks to Drake, he's just top 10?
That's not.
Come on, that's dick riding.
That's
yo, brother. Listen, everybody used to talk to Drake. Drake just cut everybody off. I can't really name their accolades outside of that. You said, oh well, you know, he kind of like speculated about Cole. He was wrong. So there's nothing he's been right about except Drake. And this new like, oh, Drake is my man thing came out after the battle. It's 2 years old, brother. I talked to Drake yesterday. Does it matter? It doesn't matter.
Unfortunately,
you gotta start putting up points.
No, if something that you say creates enough noise and attention when people report it, that's power. Right or wrong, whether he was right or wrong in his reporting, people still reported what he said. That is power.
That's where there's a disagreement with me.
Okay.
Right? Because I mentioned a thing about those pages that might just say anything, right? And by the way, let's be very clear. One of those pages, they put out something that people thought was close to being true. But they're a fake page. Yeah. I'm not saying everything this guy says is fake. What I'm saying is that with acknowledging that he has some association with Drake, I have some association with Drake. If he said Drake told him something, I wouldn't say he's a liar. But you can't tell me that a dude is gonna be on the All-Star team or he's gonna be on the first fucking the first team at the end of the year, and it says, what did he do? When you look at me, I'm putting up, listen, every year, even this year, I'm like, I gotta put up 70. I'm moving around. This guy, again, and obviously I don't fuck with him. I'm also objective. They deserve.
I don't like them chains around Akademiks' neck. I just noticed that. I don't like them chains. First of all, that's not even 2 chains. That's 1 chain wrapped around his neck twice. I don't like that setup, bro. Stop lying to me. This nigga, he went to the jeweler and bought rope. This nigga, he bought rope. He brought a chain long enough that's gonna wrap around his neck twice and dangle a little bit to make it look like he got 2 chains. Jesus.
To be on there the year that the battle was there. If I'm still getting accolades for the battles, I'm not that good of a media personality. Cut that out. That shit is done. Yo, you being cool with Drake, congratulations. Everybody else, like, who cares? Tell me a Mealy Mall or Ruri opinion beyond anything that, oh, Drake said this to me that you care about. Do they like something? Do they hate something? Do they have any other opinion that you've ever seen people care about? And that's my thing. They qualified for the list 2 years ago. That's the battle era. We're 2 years posted. And you're saying a motherfucker is top 10 just because he still talks to one of these guys? These guys have to have opinions. Break news. Again, you could break news, obviously, with the guy you're cool with. But what outside of that you do?
So you're saying that the Drake of it all shouldn't be their only qualifying factor. And I can agree with that. That is a valid point. However,
because if that's what it is,
it's not.
If that's what it is, I'm the greatest media personality of all time. If that's what it is,
it's not just that.
And I don't think that. Listen,
also,
with all due respect to Drake, even this whole album cycle, and I said this publicly, I'm keeping myself out. I don't want to report. No, I want to be a fan. I don't want to be the media personality that's just a Drake media personality. What the fuck? You can't be a legend just riding another nigga's back.
Listen, also, faulty comparison because you keep comparing them to you. And
they're on the same list.
You're 1, they're 7.
Bro,
what the fuck are we talking about?
Bro, I slipped down to 7. I slipped down like 1 year. I don't really do. Bro, we're on the same list.
Look, at the end of the day, this is your list that we're ranking.
You gotta put up numbers.
The only thing I'm trying to do,
when I think about Vlad, I got mad moments.
Take your bias out of it. No. Think about this. These 2 guys.
I'm asking you questions, so you tell me.
They signed a Netflix deal. They're on Netflix right now. They're not on YouTube.
Talking about Charlamagne, $200 million.
Look. You think they got that deal?
Have you watched him on Netflix?
Of course not. No disrespect to my good brothers Rory and Mal.
Nah, you can disrespect them.
Disrespect to Rory and Mal. I'm not gonna go to a different platform. That's a different issue. What I'm saying is they didn't get that deal off the strength of Mal's relationship with Drake. Beyond that. Beyond their music opinion commentary, they still have entertaining enough commentary to people out beyond yourself that helps them generate views on a weekly basis that beyond the battle help them remain relevant. Yes or no?
Yeah, hold on. Respectfully to you, maybe you're not the person I should have this conversation with.
I'm asking you, like, where are their numbers down? That's what I'm asking you.
Their numbers are up from when they were, like, starving before Drake and them battled. But in reality, if we're talking about all the people who are top-tier podcasters or media personalities, they're not in the top 10. I'm with objectivity. You see, when you got Vlad on there, I know Vlad is hitting them for 30 million on YouTube every month. I know what it is.
That's why Vlad is top 3.
I only bring him down a bit because I said his voice don't make shit shake like a nigga like Joe. So if Joe got 15, that's better than that 30, respectfully. If I got 15, 20, that's better than that 30, respectfully. Okay. Our voice is thunder. When you see thunder, you know lightning is there. Them boys, we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them.
We got to keep it moving. Max over Rory and Mal.
Facts.
He's locked in, chat. Which brings us to our last spot Max and the good man Anthony.
Oh my
Fantano,
God!
The last music reviewer, stating the reason
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my God! Yo, I'm sick. What? Anthony Fantano is crazy.
he is in our top 10 is because in a constantly evolving hip hop media ecosystem, commentators are often valued more than critics. We see that everywhere. Fantano, to his credit, has been able to maintain a position in the space strictly off of reviewing music. Something that most, if not everyone on this list, does not do at the same frequency or with actual criteria and numbering like he does. That's why he's in our top 10. Do you think that we got this right?
That's got all my ops on it.
Act Bussy starting to hurt is hilarious. Oh my God. So the racist shit Rory was talking about live and how much traction he got, they should be number one. Remember, all motion, regardless if it's good or bad, through Complex's eyes, is good motion. Remember that part. It's like Complex is looking at everything as if it's neutral. They just care about the numbers. That's what Complex is doing.
Yeah, that's like, I see why y'all say your IQ coming. I got y'all though.
Just take the bias out for a second,
I,
Ak.
I always
I
take
know,
the bias
Alex,
out. Like everything I
know.
told you was unbiased.
Cap, but
I'll say, I'll agree with this. So as much as I don't fuck with this nigga, like, you know what I mean? I really like, you like one of them woke haters, but I'll agree with this in terms of he does have a influence.
Wait, hold on. I thought I heard something before. Hold on, my fault.
that's right.
That's got all my ops on here. That's like, I see why y'all say your IQ coming. I got y'all though.
Just take the bias out for a second,
I,
Ak.
I always take the bias out. Like everything I told you was unbiased.
Cap, but
I'll say,
Facts.
I'll agree with this. So as much as I don't fuck with this nigga, like, you know what I mean? I really like, you like one of them woke haters, but I'll agree with this in terms of he does have a influence. I could be objective enough to say this is actually accurate. I would have him at 6 and have, you know, Platboy Max at 7. I do believe that
Alex, I don't agree. I don't disagree with your point, but the problem is that who's gonna challenge Complex? The same thing with Judy. I got a similar question for Judy. Why they even give him the stage to yap? Because it's driving engagement, right? This is what Complex do. They come down here, they look at this, they look at this, they look at this, and they said we did good today. Because this came out yesterday? They look at all this info and said we did good today. That's all Complex is doing. Who's challenging Complex? There's not a soul on planet Earth that has a conglomerate even close to what Complex is doing right now. I have not seen anything oppose Complex. I ain't seen nobody else with no convention. All right, there was no Complex convention anywhere, or not Complex convention, but there's nothing that's like a convention outside of Complex anywhere, aside from SneakerCon. But that's strictly for shoes. I haven't seen a media page that has something for music, sports, entertainment, news, overall entertainment. I have not seen any platform do that ever. That's the thing. Nobody is challenging Complex, which is why Complex is doing what they want to do. They come here, they see that they're almost at 7 million subscribers. They come down here, they see after one day they got 40K views with 400 plus comments. They said, yeah, we did good today. That's all they're doing.
that in a space where being
GQ?
critics,
Hell no. Hell no. GQ is, I'm sorry, and I like GQ. Barely. Because that Jay-Z interview, I don't like that shit. GQ is nothing close to Complex. Complex came in and they just stuck to the culture to the point where they can try to dictate and trying to change things around now. I hate, but there's nothing out there that's topping them right now. I'm sorry. Complex is doing a lot of work, and I have to respect it, but I don't like some of these conversations they're putting together. Rolling Stone,
Someone
nope.
who,
Nope.
you know, has to, again, remember I told you with the Kirkcoat debate, I don't fuck with this thing. I don't like nothing about him. I don't like his glasses, that
GQ is way above Rolling Stone, too.
Hitler, whatever he got. I don't like nothing about him, dog. I don't like I don't like that shirt. I don't like the little whiskers under his chin. I don't like nothing. I don't like him balding. I hope Turkey banned him. I don't like nothing about him. But I could appreciate like the influence and the fact that whatever.
Hey, Shadow, what the second interview that Jay-Z did talking about the industry, talking about songwriting, that interview that he did should have been the interview on GQ. Whatever he did with Dude, you should have had that as something separate, because they were trying to attempt to capture an audience and it went left. It didn't work for them. The second interview was far better than the first interview. GQ should have capitalized on that moment. But they I think it was New York Times that got the interview with Jay-Z. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. But that second one should have been the definitive interview for GQ. They fumbled the bag on that one heavy. Dot flow.
Whatever he's putting out, it does make some waves and it's influential, but it's his POV. I'd agree.
So, okay, we finally getting somewhere. Fantano remains, and now we have your. All right, now we have your almost completed. This is what it looks like right now, and now we get into the power plays. Starting with overrated, where you could take an entry in the top 5 and bring them into the bottom 5. Anyone up here that you think should be down there?
I'm rocking with this list.
Okay, so you're locked. Your top 5 is locked in.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I have Fantano. I will have nightmares with this bitch.
Well, the next is hot swap, where you could switch any 2 positions.
Yeah, with all due respect, and everybody know, and he know it too. Why you shaking?
And whenever someone says with all due respect,
it's because I don't think he's gonna be mad anyway.
Okay.
I'm putting Charlemagne in too.
So you're flipping Charlemagne and
Good.
Vlad. Now get into
Good.
why.
Take Vlad off the list though. Charlemagne should be 3. I agree.
Why you think those 2 should be switched?
We've had a great discussion here, and we've kind of realized it's not just about hip hop opinion. It's like a mix of things, and I want to really be clear. I still think Charlemagne is one of the best and most powerful and most influential media personalities out there. Not because my boy played on the Lakers and he's 40. I mean, he not that guy. He the GOAT. But, you know, Vlad, as I said, I think Vlad has an amazing platform, probably one of the best at this point. But I don't feel comfortable with saying that if Vlad said A and Charlemagne said A, what Vlad said, not only for me, but the culture is going to move people a certain way. I'm going with Charlemagne, so I would do that switch.
Now, your last power play, this is the one I think you've been waiting for the most, the big snub, where you can bring someone into the top 10 who is on our larger list. Who on this list do you think should be brought into the top 10, if any? And whoever you bring in, that 10 spot that you have will drop out.
That's Ebro, right? That nigga out of here, man.
Oh, my God.
You know, I'm going to keep it a bean with you, and this is not no trolling. And I'm down to debate this, too. I'm going back to what you said initially. This is a snapshot in time based on, like, you know, especially what's been happening over the last year. Mm-hmm. Let me just speak to some of these people before I pick my pick. So, Casanat, I think you've even rejected the idea.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's do this real quick. Okay. On the radar, Kai Cenat, Big Bank, Nardwall, Neon, Shannon Sharp, Bootleg Kev, Gillian Wallow, Cameron, Lauren LaRosa, Trap Lore Ross. Okay. On the radar as number 11. That's interesting. It's valid. That's tough. Because you got Cameron as 19, Bootleg Kev as 17. Shannon Sharp, I do not care for. Gillian Wallow, Gillian, no. Lauren LaRosa, there's no women in the top 10. Damn. Nardwar, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's crazy. I know. Like, Lauren LaRosa should be up there because she be working with Charlemagne, too. But in terms of developing her own voice, she still has some more work to do. And on top of that, she's attached to the Breakfast Club. So to look at, it's tough. To look at the Breakfast Club, you got to look at Charlemagne. Charlemagne is the face of the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa has been helping Charlemagne. Lauren LaRosa needs to do her own work outside of what she's doing at the Breakfast Club, which is why she's number 20. I would love to see Lauren LaRosa move up this list. I would love to see her in the top 10 because with the work she puts in, she deserves it. Out of all the media like entities out there, she deserves it. Nadeska is another one. Nadeska deserves to be on this list too. Nadeska should at least be in the top 20 for sure. I would happily give her that. I would move Cameron and Bootleg Kev up to 11 and 12. Kai Cenat dipped out. Kai Cenat working on his fashion brand, and you know what? I respect it as someone that cares about fashion too, that once upon a time had my own fashion brand. It still exists, by the way, but it's just like to get samples from Alibaba. The shipping is like $200 on some $5 shirts. I'm not paying those prices. I'm sorry. Neon just live streams, and half the time Iggy Azalea be on his live stream or other corn stars. So Neon should not even be on the list, to be honest. Trap Lord Ross, you should move that dude up to like top 30 or something. I would move up Cameron and Bootleg Kev for sure. Cameron deserves to be in the top 10, low key. Bootleg Kev definitely should be outside the top 10. Get Shannon Sharp off. Get Trap Lord Ross off. On the Radar should be like around 15. Get Neon off. Gillian Wallow should be like 20. And then you can start to put in other names. He's 50 Cent. Damn, that's Shannon Sharp age? That's crazy. Don't do Shannon. We know why there's no women on the top 10 because men don't listen to women. We know this. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They always make the woman be the sidecar or the voice of reason, like mom in the group who has control of the children. That's valid. How old is Shannon Sharp? Yeah, he old as shit. Whenever Shannon goes live, there's always a corn star Snow Bunny with him. Yeah. Shannon still has a job somehow. Hey, Shannon has his podcast. That's how he's eating right now. That's his podcast.
Like a hip hop media personality, you're a great streamer, you're an influencer, but you're actually going out your way not to be like a hip hop tastemaker or a media personality. I'll oblige you with not even putting you on this list, at least in my top 10. Listen, I wake up in cold sweats at 3 a.m. sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get up at 7 a.m. every morning. I work daily. Like this, I ain't gonna lie to you. I look confident. Ain't no nigga work harder than me. And the same thing with Joe. That boy worked like a slave. Everybody who's really locked into this, they really are going hard. So with all due respect to Kai, I know he works.
Bro, I wish I could wake up 7 a.m. to run this shit, bro. The only reason, like, it's tough because with YouTube, if I'm just running off of YouTube, it's so difficult. Like, this is what I'm so reluctant to posting on social media because I know on YouTube I'm safe. On social media, I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get unalived on social media with the takes I have. Because a lot of people don't comprehend what's going on in the music industry. And I can really deliver facts and information that can really save artists. But there's idiots out there that's going to disagree with me. And if artists come by and look at my content, they're going to see a bunch of people disagreeing with me and say, oh, nah, this nigga on bullshit. This nigga don't know what he talking about. Because I have so many people disagree with me in the comments, which is why I'm so reluctant to post on social media, bro. Like, I promise you, like, like, it's hard for me to post on social media. Like, I'm so reluctant to making content on social media. It's not even a joke. Like, it's actually stressing me out half the time. Because I know I got to make posts on Instagram and Twitter and all that. And in TikTok especially. But I'm so reluctant. I'm just, it's tough. If you make me agree with Dr. Umar, you're forever an enemy to me. Don't ever make me side with that man because you're on the food. That's why they have people to do it for them. That's so valid. I wish I can pay people, man. I wish I can pay people to help me with social media, but I can't. I literally work like 3 part-time jobs, and it's still not enough money. And then I'm here on YouTube. It's not enough. Like, I'm actually stressed out half the time doing this shit, bro. I'm telling you. Like, I don't get it half the time, bro. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I gotta figure it out.
Super hard, but it's not for just the betterment of hip hop or just to be focused on this. And that's why I'm gonna like put him away. Yo, Cam, I love you. Shout out to Gillian Wallow. Shannon Sharp, I think you have a great situation, but I'm not gonna put you in that top 10 because you're not focused, especially on hip hop. Even though you do interview a lot of hip hop people.
Nori, Drink Champs. John and who? Jim Jones. Hell, Jim Jones should be in the top 50. What the hell? DJ Head and Gina Views. Nah, they should move up to at least in the top 15. To put Gina Head, Gina Head. To put Gina Views and DJ Head up there is crazy. Underground Sound, Elliot Wilson, The Kid Mero.
Shout out to my man Elliot Wilson. I know you just went through some surgery. I love you, Kid Mero. You're a bum ass nigga.
Damn.
What the fuck Mero do?
I think Hot 97 got a curse. It's like the Knicks. They can't win. So they got rid of some losers. They got another loser.
Wow.
I got it. Nadeska, I love you, but I think I do know who I'm picking. I got to go with Big Bang. I think Big Bang gave some of the dopest moments in this year of the conversations that were continually reoccurring. He sat with people. I had even a personal conversation with him, and I told him it was going to tell me everything about him as someone who's, he comes from like that Atlanta street nigga, like whatever, or is he a media personality? I said, you're starting discussions based on the people who are comfortable interviewing with you. Will you continue those discussions by interviewing the other side? And that was important. Are you going to be...
In all honesty, I would have chose Cameron. In all honesty, I would have chose Cameron easy. I would have chose Cameron no problem. Big Bank is crazy. Because he sat down with Young Thug. Whoop-de-doo. Gina Head
be honest, or you're going to be just happy that you got an interview? Are you going to tell you the truth in what you really think, as opposed to look at the views and say, well, I can't call him out on this because this is what it is? I think Big Bank is a power player that, in my opinion, deserves a top 10 mention this year. He was phenomenal, handling that Thug situation with Savage. I seen him with Woody. He has a bunch of other more like interviews where, when it comes to like down south, especially Atlanta, imagine not having
I guarantee you next year Big Bank is going to fall off. Facts.
like Taxstone and having like someone smart but still street. Stands on business, understands stuff mentally, like really sharp, but also a little bit of OG. That's Big Bank. Respectfully, put him at 5. Yo, wow. Big Bank, I got you at 5. You did your thing.
At
like,
5?
I spent most of my time breaking out Big Bang shit.
I do agree. I think that he had a lot of really massive moments. That Thug interview, that Savage interview.
Can he keep it up? I don't know.
No.
All right, so this is your top 10 hip-hop media power ranking. I want you to look it over one more time.
Who's that? Yo, we got. Yo, what your name? Zigo? Yo, Zigo, I appreciate you for the follow, gang. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Damn, bro, that's crazy. Hold on, let me look at this list. So you got DJ Akademiks, you got Joe Budden, Charlamagne the God, DJ Vlad, Big Bang. That makes no sense to me. Jadakiss and Fat Joe, Anthony Fantano, Black Boy Max, Rory Amar, and Kirko. Boy, this list is stressing me out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You can't change anything, but how do you feel now that you've re-ranked our list?
I would react to foreign music if it's nice, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you got that shit, hey, bro, what's up?
The next time y'all put out top 20 without my man Poetic Flacco or Whack 100, and I know they're in a little bit different space.
Okay.
But if we're talking about these things, they cause a lot of conversation.
Well, Ak, congratulations on being ranked #1 on our Hip Hop Media Power Ranking 2026. You hold the crown this year. How does that feel?
I want to say I appreciate not only you guys, but I appreciate the audience and everybody who consumes the content. I understand that me being #1 is me being a placeholder in an ecosystem that's very valuable. And I've always acknowledged that. And I know a lot of people, sometimes, if they're not included on the list, they're a little bit upset about it. This signifies sacrifice. It signifies a lot of people who have went the, non-traditional route to kind of gain their voice, honed an audience over many years, taking risks, and even sometimes, the proverbial putting your foot in your mouth. And, these are the people who help shape not only the conversation, but help shape what these artists are doing. And it's a synergy. Without the artists, without the music, without the backdrop of culture, we can't do what we're doing. Right? Because again, if I was to sit on stream all day and talk about what's going on in Iran or talk about what's going on in the stock market.
What genre do I like the most? Rap, R&B, that's it.
I wouldn't be that popular. Same with Joe Budden, Charlamagne. So it's all, there's a synergy to it. And at any moment that I'm acknowledged, whether 1, 2, 3, 4, hopefully I don't get below that. I do want to say I appreciate it and things are complex. Trust me. 2 years ago, when you guys gave me #1, every day I got up and I'm like, am I representing what I felt the most popular, the most influential media personality should be doing? If that's the case this year too, I'm down to put the same pressure on myself, but the pressure should be on the field.
Heavy is the head. So, Ak, that is your list. You can check out our list on complex.com. And if you want to enjoy the re-rank experience yourself, download the Complex app and re-rank this list at home with your friends and share with us so we can see how you did. All right? But that's all for this episode. For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose. Peace.
Complex did what they needed to do with this one. I know Tiff said, Charles said they made this list to piss people off. Girl, that's what rage bait is. When I say rage bait, I'm pretty much saying the same thing as pissed off. I'm just using the actual term. Like, that's all it is. Like, this is straight rage bait. Akademiks said Big Bank should be #5. That's complete bullshit. Dude came out of nowhere, had about 3 interviews that did good for him. There's no way he can repeat that again next year. It's bullshit. It's literally bullshit. Like, that's literally rage bait. Taking Big Bang and putting him in the top 5? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy just off of 3 interviews. Hell no. Hell nah, bro. That is not... No. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insane to me, bro. But, Complex, you did what you needed to do. So, it's cool. It's cool. W Complex. But I don't think Akademiks should have been the #1. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nah. Nope. So it is what it is at that point. My thing about it though is I need more people to understand when they make lists like this, it's to create engagement. This is not a definitive list. And they proved that it's not a definitive list by having the show based off of the list called the re-rank. If they're making a show called re-rank based on a possible list, or not a possible list, just based off of a list they put together, that means that's not even a definitive list. And if they re-rank the list, they're re-ranking it based off of personal opinion. That's also not a definitive list. So, no, like, this is not the list for hip-hop media platforms at all. So, I need more people to understand that. This is literally here to create conversation and to create rage bait. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. The more people realize that is the less power Complex will have. But you got to understand, the reason why Complex is complex today is because a lot of people don't understand what's going on in front of them. They're just going with the flow. They're just going with the show. Which is why Complex is doing what Complex wants to do. That's the power Complex has granted. Because nobody understands what's going on whatsoever that's literally happening in front of them. That makes all these other companies out here start to create narratives. Because people don't know, they're going to lie to your face and say it's true. That's what's going on. The more people these lists are for, is the more likely Complex or any other platform will lose their power. If you guys want to change. So if you guys want to change, if you don't want Complex to have all the power, if you don't want Akademiks to have the power, got to change the narrative. They give you the ability to go on their website and change their list. They knew they'd done it. Yeah. Or they created a list and now they're advertising their application. Download the Comp app. Engagement. And it's a free app. All the app has to do is consistently have high engagement because they also run ads on the application. And when they run ads on the application with high engagement, that's money in their pocket. You can give out a free product. But as long as you run ads on it, that's payment in your pocket because ads are paying for placement on that platform, which is going to fuel your pocket. That's how that trick works. Every time there's a list, we all should make our own list here. That's not a bad idea. You know? It's not a bad idea at all. But yeah, this was cool. This was cool. So, just like how they created a conversation for people who engage on YouTube, it also created a conversation for people on YouTube to create their own content. So, for anybody that's reacting, anybody that's talking about this list, we're giving fuel, we're giving power to Complex. The trick to it is that you're not supposed to interact with that content. That's how you take away the power. That's the trick. Don't engage with the content. But it's tough because they're providing content that's going to get us pissed off enough to make a video. So a lot of people need to control. We control ourselves, not fall for the trap. All of us making content on these things right now, we're all falling for the trap. That's all it is, bro. I'm telling you. If you don't fall for the trap, it's going to lose the power. It's free, your product being sold. That's even a better way to put it. I was just giving the proper way to put it, but to say that where the product being sold, that's a better way to put it. W Shadow. All right. It's tripping up on you. What's going on? Shit. I was wondering. I've always be wondering because what's going on? I don't see a lot of people engaging on YouTube. That kind of has me concerned now, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, W Shadow for that info because I'm watching the stream from my Twitch. I'm not even watching from YouTube.